5 years ago, Rob and I found Sandy Valley Ranch and started to come out here and riding the horses and became good friends with the owner, Marilyn Gubler. And from there, we just wanted to spend more and more time here. Rob, 5 years ago, built the first tiny house, the Hummingbird, and Marilyn suggested putting it on the ranch so then we would have a place to stay when we came out here. And then we heard about Airbnb, and we put it on Airbnb, and the traffic, other people finding out about this ranch. And then we decided to build a second tiny house, which is here, the Peacock. And HGTV heard about that and contacted us, so we're on Tiny House Big Living. Cowboy Tiny House is the name of our segment. A big inspiration for the decoration, the decor, was kind of an old Western saloon. There's one of our favorite saloons up the street called the Pioneer Saloon. It's the oldest saloon in Nevada from 1913. We also have traveled to Mexico quite a bit, and we bring back the Mexican sinks and tiles that you'll see decorated throughout the house. And we pick up different stained glass. So this stained glass we picked up for this house is the Peacock, hence the name, the Peacock. And Rob is the designer from scratch on a piece of paper to every single nail here, so I'll let him talk about the construction.
We wanted to keep it a tiny home size, so trying to fit everything that we wanted in here to keep it tiny and still have that Western feel was a little bit of a challenge, but I think everything worked out pretty good.
Well, Rob is a woodworker, so of course everything is about the wood and the quality of the wood and different styles of wood. Yeah. So that definitely is why this is definitely the feel people love. It's very homey, very cabiny because of the wood that Rob works with and chooses to work with. The staircase is a big hit too, going up into the loft. This is a very unique feature that Rob wanted to incorporate in this tiny house, and a lot more room up in the loft, so that you can actually almost stand up there in the loft, which is unusual for a tiny house.
Your couch is also going to be a bed. It's also going to be storage, so you try to incorporate as much as you can into one item so you can save the space. So we do have drawers underneath, and then we also have, which is pretty a typical design in tiny homes now, so you can pull this out, and then we have the bed that just folds down like this. And it's pretty simple. It's not complicated at all. Then you have a single bed, just like that. Put a nice large window take advantage of the views out there. But the table also goes down as well. It doesn't really go down as much. You don't really need it to go down. You know, if a large family comes in here and wants to have sleeping bags, I guess that's the option. Kitchen is, once again, I don't think it's out of the ordinary when it comes to tiny homes. I did build all the cabinets myself, only because cabinets that you would use in a home they do come out a little bit further, and I wanted to create a little bit more space. We didn't need the cabinets to come out all this way, so it gives us a little bit more area for cooking and preparing and just space, We have nice Mexican sinks that Sandy and I got when we were in Mexico. Seems to be a big hit with a lot of the guests that come. They like to see it, and it helps with the theme with the Southwest as well. And cast iron taps here, so it's gives it a rustic look as well. We don't have a lot of upper cabinets. If you were to have like full cabinets up here, it start to feel crowded. So we just did open shelves just to give it a little bit more of a space, you don't want to feel more crowded than it already is in here. So, and then down below, it's all opened up, for cabinets below, and which gives us plenty of space for what we use it for. So, and then there's a small fridge as well. So it's pretty simple. And shower. This is one of my favorites here. I didn't want to put in a sliding door or a barn door right here, because you can't put a cabinet if you put a barn door on here, and it takes up part of the wall on one side. And I didn't want a full folding door or a typical door that comes out. So I created this folding door like this. So it kind of saves space, and and you're able to when you close it, you have a full door. So bathroom. Not much room, but it has all the room that you need. And we put an RV toilet in here, which is, so we're fortunate enough to have a septic tank on the property, so we just have an RV toilet in here, which is pretty standard. And then I put a shower, which is a 3x3 shower, and corrugated metal, and I would say this is probably a little larger than the average tiny home, but it makes things a little bit more comfortable when you're taking a shower.
So here's the loft. We wanted to improve from the first tiny house that we created, where the loft was quite short. So with this, Rob made the ceiling a little bit higher. The ceiling over the kitchen, which is where we are now, is a little bit lower, giving more space up here for the loft. So as you can see, I can kneel and be totally without bumping my head, which is quite nice for a tiny house, because usually you have to crawl into bed. So this way we're able to still have quite a bit of space and move around. We added these here, so if people wanted to hang clothes, or if we wanted to hang our jackets here, we do have some hooks downstairs, but we thought it'd be nice to have places to hang your clothes as well up here. You can see the top of the Peacock stained glass there. So that was when we saw that in Mexico, then we knew that was going to be the name of our next tiny house. And the beautiful frame woodwork around the windows is consistent through the whole tiny house, which I think is a beautiful touch that Rob brought to this tiny house. It's a bit different than our first one. For storage, we also have this basket here with extra bedding, and there's plenty of room up here if you need to put a suitcase or other baskets if you wanted to, depending on how long you wanted to stay or who is going to be using this space. So there's definitely plenty of room up here for a comfortable night's stay, and plenty of room to hang clothes and fold your clothes if you wanted to. So this here is a heater. The desert does get quite cold at night, and so, but this little unit completely heats up the whole tiny house. Up here we have an air conditioner, so in the summer, we all know the heats in the desert can get quite high. So we have an air conditioner and a fan, just to make sure that the loft stays cool. The whole house is cool, but the fan really helps to keep the air conditioning and the air circulating. And in the winters, we use this heater, and it keeps it nice, toasty warm in here.
Instead of doing two lofts, because we have a loft in the front and a lot of designs have lofts in the back as well, but we changed it around and we put a deck up top. And so I attached the stairs to the outside on the back. So it makes it a little bit easier instead of trying to create stairs on the inside to get to a deck on the inside and taking up more room. This is a 8.5 by 20, but the staircase extends over the back 2 feet, or the loft hangs over 2 feet on the front. And then you also have, like, having the deck outside, it really kind of creates a lot of unique spaces for such a tiny house, so it doesn't feel so tiny.
And we wanted a deck because, as you can see, the views here are phenomenal. Absolutely gorgeous with all the mountains around us and the ranch, and so we wanted to have a deck where we could just sit here and enjoy the sunsets and stargaze at night.
We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us your thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel if we are not yet. And we hope to see you guys soon again. See you in the next one. Bye.